Here we go. Yeah, because when you get it up, I'll
And
go.
we are live.
Hi. Welcome to the Rainbow Support Group Friday Support Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, now that we're global and all that good stuff. We have to tell you that. I want you to know that we are an LGBT support group. You can contact us at www.rainbowsupportgroupsc.com, and you can also go to www.rainbowsupportgroup.org. All of those will take you to our website. On our website, you can have contact information. You can sign up for our newsletter each month. It is on a confidential email list, of which we do not share with a third party. What is that? We did our Facebook. You can contact us on Facebook. Through the website, you can contact all of our board members directly if you want to contact them for any issues you might have, or if there's somebody that you just want to talk to one-on-one, you're more than welcome to do that. So please give us a call if you need to reach out. Now, what are we going to talk about this week? First of all, Mackenzie is running our broadcast, and he's going backstage, but Mackenzie's running it. He's been training with David, and apparently he's lead dog today. So this is all on Mackenzie today. And today we're also going to talk to our brand new board member, Jason Law, out of Colorado. I'm so excited. So Jason, the funny thing is, now remember, throughout the live, you guys, if you have any support questions you need, please put them in the comments and we'll address them as soon as we see them. Or you can message us privately and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. But we're just here to talk to you guys and give you something to do during this pandemic thing. Jason, people have been calling me since the announcement that you were on our board, and they keep saying to me, Kim, why do you have a board member from Colorado? And why do you care? Why would they care about the rainbow here in the upstate of South Carolina? And I said, do you know that he's from here? And they're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, he's from here, but went away into the world and is having a wonderful life. So, right. So he found us and he decides that he loves us. So tell the people why you're on our board all the way from Colorado. Tell us your story.
Well, I was originally born and raised in upstate South Carolina. I was born in a town called Central, South Carolina, right near Clemson, South Carolina. And little teeny, one red light, little baby. Lived there for a good many years. Lived in Greenville for a while. I've lived all over the upstate, and I lived in the upstate of South Carolina until I was 35 years old. I'll be 45 next week. So we've been here in Colorado 10 years. But when I heard about the Rainbow Support Group, I was really excited because when I was growing up as a little gay boy in the South, I didn't have that kind of support. And I was so very excited to hear that that there was something available for people of an outreach to let them know that they're not alone, because being LGBTQ at all can be a hard thing, especially as a kid too, when you're trying to understand initially who you are, but it can be extra hard in the South.
In the South, right.
In the South.
Got a whole nother flavor.
A completely different flavor. Exactly right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's why I was excited to hear about the Rainbow Support Group, and you and I, Kim, have been going back and forth and chatting for a while, and I decided to be a regular donor, which I recommend people doing because it's a great cause. And then I wanted to get involved more and do as much as I possibly can. So we talked about boardship or whatever, and so here I am, your Colorado member at large.
And it's really good, though. I mean, I see it wonderful as a director. You want people on your board that can show you things from a different perspective. If everybody looks at everything through the same eyes, just like Black Lives Matter, if everybody's looking through the same lens and it's wrong, you think you're doing it right. Nah. You need outside eyes. You need opinions from the outside. You need other viewpoints in order to see everybody's viewpoint so that you understand what you're doing, especially with the rainbow. But I love it that you're involved. I think it's wicked cool. Plus, we talk about things like how cool it is in Colorado, like your pride. Your pride was off the chain.
Really big, really
I mean,
big.
it was really big. It was really big. And down here, we were really proud of our pride here in the upstate, and it was little compared to yours. It was little.
We had, over 500,000 people, but 549,000 maybe. It was a lot.
See, yay, Colorado.
Because different. We're the biggest metropolitan city within the range of states. Because Colorado is a big city, but you can get into the middle of nowhere really quickly. So
that's good. We like that.
Yeah, that's
that.
Like the South. So yeah. But yeah, I was glad when I was growing up. There wasn't even, not to my knowledge, I don't know if there was even a pride, and if there was, I certainly wasn't aware of it. It wasn't large enough to be on my radar back, in the 90s.
I know that Upstate Pride has not been. Upstate Pride is less than a decade.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
sure.
yeah. So no, probably not. Probably not. The world was probably very different. I didn't live there. Did I? Maybe I did. Yeah, I did. It was, but I was just so gay that it never really mattered. I've always been obnoxious. So, that's how people know me. They're like, do you know Kim? She's got the mouth. She'll. And that's me. But, I love the LGBT, so I'm not going to be quiet. And if they give us our rights, then I'll shut up. I've said that forever. I'll sit down. I won't say nothing else. If you give us our rights, if you just make us equal, put us at the bottom of the paper, those two phrases, and I will sit the hell down. Until then, I can't sit down. I can't sit down, and I'm not going to be quiet. And that's the way it is. No. So now, how is your life, though? My question about that, you talked about, you were raised where we live, and how different it was. And that you told me a story, though, about moving away, and that you moved away and you thought that nobody else was gay. And then all of a sudden they came out with Facebook and you had moved away, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. I went to school with you, and I went to school with you. And that you didn't even know during the time that you had fellow LGBT there, and you didn't even know.
Yeah, I thought I was completely by myself, as one does. I was a senior in high school in 1993. So back in those days, in 10th and 11th grade, when things were really popping, with me realizing that I was not your regular old straight dude. I thought I was by myself, because everyone's in the closet, because it's the early 90s in the South, and we weren't, that new wave that's beginning to hit now in the Carolinas was not there. So, and there was no social media at all. There were no cell phones. So I'm aging myself, but still, I didn't know those things. And then when I moved out, and I realized before I moved out here, obviously, because Facebook's been around for since 2008. We moved out here in 2010. But I started getting friend requests from people that I knew. I got friend requests from people that I went to high school with, that we weren't friends in high school. Because I was so bashful and so scared and lived in fear of someone finding out that I was gay. Being raised in the South as I was, very religious. So it was very refreshing to see people who were like me. I'm like, oh, this whole time I was sitting in class with you, learning about the Catcher in the Rye.
Right.
And you were having the same thoughts as me. It would have been nice to know that at the time.
Right, but they weren't safe either, so they didn't know. So nobody did. I mean, I was a preschool teacher for 15 years, and I had a wife, and I was raising 4 children, 2 of hers and 2 of mine. It was so on the download, Jason. It was like, yes, I had a wife. We weren't legally married. It wasn't legal back then. Okay, we had a commitment ceremony. We were just roommates. helping each other raise the kids, you
Yes.
know. Never hold hands in public. Oh my God, don't do that. Never any public display of affection for 10 years. Like, no. But yes, it was my wife. But when we went home, we shut the curtain and then we could be us. We had kids. We had a normal life, but it was in the South. And of course, my husband was trying to sue me for custody of kids in the South. And if you're gay in the South, then you don't have a right being a parent. So we had to keep the gay part like away, or I would have really lost my kids for
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
back in the day. But now you were raised like that. You saw that. You went away and you still, it's not like you noticed these gay people and then moved away. You moved away and then found out, oh, wow, I really was normal. Okay, cool. So how is it now living out in Colorado where being gay is okay?
So being gay, I think it's important to say is always okay, even if other people tell you
I do
it's
too.
not.
I do
They're
too.
wrong. But being a married man to a man in Colorado is, I would say, it's kind of light years apart.
Light years, just light years. Just
it's truly different, and I can't say, and that's one of the things though I hope for LGBTQ young folk and older folk who were older than me that didn't get in. They still have issues because of how they were raised. I hope that freedom for them, because it's you can't put a value on it to be able to the gift of a lifetime is to be able to be who you really are. And I feel gifted in that way because I get to be who I really am. I mean, I'm myself. I bring my whole self to work. I'm out to everyone all the time, and I make it a point to let people know that I'm gay because number one, I'm proud of what I've accomplished and come through, and I'm proud of my husband, and I'm proud of our 13-year marriage. I'm proud of these things, so I want people to know that. Not to be cliche, because at this point it is, but it does get better. I mean, it really does get better, and I've personally experienced it myself. And there's ups and there's downs, and there's like residual effects from us growing up in the South. Like Clint and I, my husband's name is Clint. We don't hold hands in public, even now in Colorado. We could, but there's just that conditioning from being in the South, that stuff that just stays with you. So we don't have. Like I said, I'm 45 and he's 40. We're just not of that. So we're, Gen Xers. We didn't cross over into the millennial or the Generation Z or Zoomers mindset as much in that way. So we don't do that. And so I still understand, because even though we've grown up, we've, worked through all those things. I know that there's still things that people deal with for the rest of their lives. So.
Mocha has a question. She wants to know, are there any groups like us out there? Or is there a need for groups like us out there?
There absolutely is a need, because while Denver is open and affirming, and Aurora, where I live, is the neighboring city. So it's the next town over, city over, I guess. I say town, but it's a city. It's big. But
Is it big?
They're mostly open and affirming as well. Everything is around here. I mean, we still have Colorado Springs, which is hometown of James Dobson's Focus on the Family. So there's some things there, and there's still people. Make no mistake, there's still people who have great issue with people having full rights in Colorado, because it wasn't in the 90s. The Colorado is known as the hate state. But we've moved so forward now because we have a gay governor, and so we've made lots of strides. And this is this place is home to me, and I love it because of those things. But in answer to the question, there's the Center on Colfax, which is the biggest organization. There's other smaller ones, of course, but the Center on Colfax is what works with Coors to. They put the Pride Parade together. And there's that 2-day event. And it's a larger center. They're open to, they have a thing called Rainbow Alley, which is awesome. They help the youth. And they also have a SAGE program for older LGBTQ people.
That's
but yes,
nice.
So it's just a larger enterprise. And they've been around since, so they're as old as me. So they started in 1975. So this is I believe I'm right, this is their 45th. This will be their 45th year.
Well, I'm doing all this research and I found out, do you know there are such limited resources for the elderly LGBT? So I'm excited, So I'm excited to hear you say that that organization out there does have a focus on the elderly. Very important, very important. Now, okay, if you could tell yourself something as a kid, as that kid in South Carolina, what would you tell yourself now? Like, what can I tell these kids now?
I would say that you won't always feel as afraid and uncertain as you do now. And you will find love, and you will find your tribe. And you'll look back at the times that you're experiencing now, and you won't believe the ability and the capacity that you have to love, and the amount of people that love you, and the amount of strength that you have with your group, and that you'll be at peace, and you'll enjoy your life, and you'll come to understand that, for me personally, as a gay man, being LGBTQ is a gift. It enables us to think in ways that other people don't have the capacity or the need to, because they don't have to. So I think you'll find out that you're happy and you're content.
I want you to know that I'm hugging you. Do you see this? I'm just hugging the shit out of you. I'm just hugging you. I love you. That's why you're on my board. The people on the Rainbow Support Group board, by the way, I want you to know they only have bodies, but inside their body is this gigantic heart, this gigantic, oozing, disgusting, sappy heart. These people are phenomenal. That was beautiful. I hope some kid hears that. I hope somebody who needs to hear that hears that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what did take you out to Colorado years ago? Why did you leave?
Clint and I met back in ye olden days in 2007 on a little service called Match.com. And he had previously lived in Colorado, and he had moved back to Charlotte, and he says that he moved. Now he says he moved out here to meet me. Of course, that seems the way it is. Whether it is or not, that's what we say.
You all that.
Whether it's true or not, that's what we say. So he lived out here previously, and I had always wanted to live in Colorado. I've always been a mountains person, and so I was just enamored of the place. And when we got serious in 2007. He said that he was considering moving back to Colorado and wondered if I would consider it. It's something I would look into. And I said, absolutely, for sure. Because I had never left the upstate that much. I mean, Florida, Tennessee, blah, 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 but not out west. And so we visited in, I believe, 2007, maybe 2008 and 2009. And I immediately fell in love. And then in 2010, we just decided to make the jump. And here we are a decade later.
But you love it out there, huh?
I really do. You feel I have two homes, Colorado and South Carolina.
Right.
So I feel, once again, I feel lucky to.
Now, did the LGBTs Mocha's asking another question. And by the way, everybody who doesn't know, Princess Mocha's having trouble with her phone. She's the other co-founder of the Rainbow Support Group, and she's supposed to be here with us, but she's not, and I do apologize. But she is. I'm watching her tag and talk to people and do her thing. So just know, Mocha working, okay? Just know. So Mocha's question is, are there any hate groups that aim towards the LGBT out there like there are here? Like, is KKK out there? Is all the haters out there?
Yeah. The Klan would be out here. There's neo-Nazi, there's white supremacist groups out here. There are lots of targeted groups. I'm sure there are. Do I know their names? No, because I don't focus on that. But I know there are the people there, because as I said, it doesn't take very long to move from Denver, Aurora out, and then you get into the smaller mountain towns, and which are lovely, great, beautiful places. But of course, as you go out, you can run into other types of people with different mindsets that don't happen to love necessarily who you are.
The metropolitan lifestyle.
Yeah, because yeah. So it's So answer to your question, yes, there are people, and people, I don't feel threatened here. I don't feel I feel very at ease here. But
now Tessa has a question about police, and you just said you don't feel threatened out there. Do you feel safe with your police out there with you?
Wow, that's an interesting question to be asking in this day and time.
I mean, LGBT wise,
LGBT wise, I can tell you
LGBT wise
at the Pride Pride Festival, the Aurora Police Department, the Denver Police Department, the fire departments, the medics, all these people, they're all in the parade, and they all have booths in the festival area. Telling
they're
about
participants.
Themselves. Yeah, introducing themselves to the public. So in that way, yeah, they're they are open to that, in my experience.
Okay, but then of course we all know what we're dealing with now. But that was an LGBT answer. Now we'll just, and then we'll leave that one right there. Okay. You talked about that you originally started being a consistent donor to the Rainbow. You donated each month so that we could make sure during the tough times that we could pay the bank and the website and stuff like that, which is absolutely fabulous, like you said. I mean, and I really don't care who people donate to. If you have the finances like that and you're able to constantly pay somebody each month, I don't care. Remember, we've got a partner thing that goes across the bottom. Pick one of them. Free Moms Hugs. Do you want to help them out? Make a monthly payment to their organization and have it automatically deducted from your bank. Piedmont Care, Clemson University, PFLAG Spartanburg, Palmetto Community Care, PFLAG Greenville, any of those, or us, or whoever. If you want to help a grassroots organization out for the support level, these people don't make a product. So any money, and they still have bills. We all got bills. Business cards cost money. Everything costs money. So these businesses, they do support the LGBT. And if you do have money and can do that. But anyway, that's a side note. So eventually, in the beginning, you started doing that, and then you called to be a board member. But why? And it's like, Kim, did you call Jason? No, I didn't call Jason. Jason called me and he said, Kim, I want to do more than what I've been doing. Okay, I feel like I'm not doing enough and I want to do more. So why did you call me?
I reached out to you because I have a heart for obviously the LGBT community, and we have friends out here, and we talk about this all the time. That and we donate and give to different things and are part of different organizations, but specifically LGBTQ people are doing the LGBT work and key work in the community. If we don't support ourselves, we often aren't supported. So I wanted to make sure that I gave back, that I, because I feel like I've been somewhere and I've arrived, and I feel like it's important that for those who can do, that they should do, and support the community in every way that they can, because it's important work. And though we've come a long way, this is, we're not during Stonewall riot times necessarily, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Quite frankly, changing the hearts and minds of people, and being open to having conversations with people, and developing more allyships with other communities that may not necessarily know about the LGBT struggle. And sometimes it's not something that is actively committed. It's just an omission type of situation where they they didn't focus on that. They don't know about that because it's not their struggle. So, getting the word out and having that kind of information available to people so that people can learn. Because again, it's hard to hate someone when you know someone. And so the thing is, that's why visibility matters. It matters.
No, I've been telling you guys that I've been taking all these classes, and this is just a thing that I took, and I want you to see this. This is people that are laid off and terminated since COVID started. And I want you to see that this one on the very, very end, that's transgender people of color. The one next to it is transgender. The one next to it is LGBT people of color. Okay, so the two highest ones, this one and that one, that's LGBT people of color and trans people of color. Okay, we need to know that the LGBT is not okay. And there's a segment of us right now that is actually being attacked more than the others. We need to step up. Okay, so I don't mean to be political right now. I mean, holy shit. Okay, when you look at the statistics and you look at what's happening and you look at what's happening to LGBT. Now, I've been taking a lot of education courses and counseling of late, and I find that the research shows the LGBT was already a mess. Okay, we already work in the jobs that COVID hit the hardest. We're the waitresses, we're the nurses, we're the ones in those jobs predominantly. We're the highest rate of the homeless. Okay, these people were so affected by COVID. And you don't think about it because you're like, well, yeah, everybody was affected. I'm like, yeah, I know, but these people weren't getting help already. Okay, they can't get housing. They can't get into the shelters. They're having a problem getting employment. They already are having trouble. And now so everything's escalated more. I think that we all do need to keep focused on each other. And I love how you talk, because I talk from my heart and my words are yucky. But when you were talking, you sounded like a governor or somebody really important. So congratulations on your speaking skills, because I'm quite impressed. They're not mine, and which is why usually we don't let me talk. But we've done this live thing, and it is a way to meet people. And we did find out, through these classes and stuff that I'm taking, is that in this COVID, now that it's extending its time, everybody kind of got it in their mindset that it would be over soon. It'll be over soon. Well, now everybody's like, wait a minute, it's not over yet. And now they're telling me I can't go back to work yet. And now that, so what they're finding is that everybody's stress is increased and the level of severity has increased. Like, you might have been stressed out before, but now you're like uber stressed out. And you might have, been anxious before, but now you're uber anxious. So in the next couple of lives, I want us to focus on calming down, to relax. David, great question. What would I say to LGBTQ plus people who want to help more but are afraid to take the next step? First of all, there are so many. If you're in the upstate, if you're not, if you're in the nation, please look around. Just like Princess Mocha, our co-founder, David Poteet, our communications, they posed a question to Jason about what was out in his area in Colorado. There are organizations that he could volunteer for. Are things that he could sign up for, and they got a hell of a pride. I know they need volunteers for Pride. Now, all the prides are on hold, but next year's going to come. We're all going to go back to Pride. I want everybody to keep your stuff. Man, I got beads for you. I got bracelets for you. I got it. We got the supplies. We're ready. We are ready. The second we can, we're going to party. But just be ready. Until then, everybody needs to be safe, and that's cool. What was I talking about? Where's Mocha? Mocha used to tell me when I finished my sentences. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying?
Disproportionate trans people of color? Or talking about
and that we have to get all of the groups together in the upstate and nationwide and worldwide, and really focus on your LGBT people, young people, old people. Isolation. They say this isolation is the worst thing for anxiety and depression. The worst thing is isolation. Make sure you're getting outside. Make sure you're taking a walk. If you're afraid to go outside at nighttime when it's dark and nobody's outside. If you're afraid of people, do what you got to do, but you got to get outside. Okay, being inside is not good for the wires in your head. Okay, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, so I want to keep doing these lives, and like you said, we need to do some fun lives. We need to do some stupid lives. I mean, I think that I really, really am going to do a true, for real yoga session. Like, for real. I'll be embarrassed as hell, but I really think it's important. And if I can get people to even listen to me for 5 minutes, at least they'll calm down for 5 minutes. Right. I mean, I'll look stupid, but then that's the thing that they'll say, I'm too fat to do it, or I'm too whatever to do it. Nah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But I got a new light, and I think I can do it and aim the camera right so that we can do yoga together, and we'll do beginning yoga. I think that'll be fun. But that'll be next month, because this month we've got all of our lives planned. So we'll do that next month. Which you probably haven't looked into. However, in the Black trans community in Colorado, are there resources up there? I mean, do you know about trans people of color? Do they know about trans?
Yeah. So again, the Center on Colfax would be the biggest resource for that. They have a huge, they cover every portion of the rainbow. So there is a Black, there's a trans group. They really focus on trans lives and trans rights. I think they do a really good job, because sometimes the LGBTQ community can be a little light on the T portion. And yes. I think it's very important to understand, especially because, in my opinion, we owe a great debt of gratitude to the trans community and the Black and brown people.
Huge. You owe it all. You owe it all to them.
They started Stonewall. They need to band together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And stand behind them and protect them. And, on my board, I have a wonderful trans department, and I really focus with them a lot, because remember, these people have hearts, not brains, and they just do wonderful things. And I have to keep saying, y'all have to be safe now. Y'all have to, make sure you're watching for yourself. I think you're wonderful. However, the world is kind of weird right now, so you got to watch yourself. And they've been focusing a lot on safety in their lives, and I'm really pleased with that, because apparently that's knowledge people wanted. Those videos really went far with that knowledge and the safety of trans. We need to, but it is true, Jason, and I'm sorry that you have it out there too. I'm glad they have support. I'm glad to hear about that center. But just like you and I know, until we change laws and make things different, having a center or not is kind of damn irrelevant when they keep dying, and that's what pisses me off. I mean, why don't I hear anybody bitching about it in the news other than us? Like, we do the shit on Facebook now. Boy, let one of us die, and you see it everywhere. But the news, no, not so much. Not so much. The Congress, not so much. Nobody's really talking about it. But, people are screaming right now, and people aren't listening. So, I don't know. Keep going, you guys. Keep going. That's all I got to say. There's more of us than there are of them. Just keep going. I have voter registration cards. That's all I got to say to you.
Awesome.
Okay, I will mail them to you. I will pay for the envelope myself, or I will call you and we will show you how to do it online. You got to vote, and then you got to get there. Okay, you got to vote. I found out that in Colorado, they don't have to go to the polls. They can do it through the mail. But in South Carolina, you got to they make it a little harder.
They do.
They do, on purpose.
On purpose.
So, if you need a ride, call somebody and say, I need you to take me to vote. Look, go David Poteet, go David Poteet. SouthCarolinaVotes.org. And remember, we are international. Check your state. Okay, this is important that we vote. It's not an option anymore. Okay, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can't be kidding me. Okay, whatever. Wow. Okay, I'm waiting for everybody to wake up now. Anytime. I'm ready.
Time.
Anytime. In the beginning of all of this nightmare, I said, well, this can't be real because there's some grown-ups. Now, I'm super smart, okay? But I am aware that I am not smart in law. I am not smart like a doctor. I am not a fucking mathematician whiz kid. Okay, there's people smarter than me. So I assumed when it came to this governmental shit and this be big and grown up and flawless shit, which I thought was the rule to be a president, guess not, that I thought the grown-ups would stand up. You know, those people that always cross their legs, those people that are never late to work, those people whose ties never have a wrinkle in them, those people who never got an X on a test ever, those people who never bounced a check, those people, I kept waiting for them to stand up saying, nah, you a fucking idiot, you out. Still waiting. Still waiting. I have voter registration cards. David Poteet put up the link for South Carolina. Please check your state for voter information. You can Google all that. You can register online. You can register by the card like what I have, and we'll deliver them to you if you're in the upstate. I don't care where you are in the upstate. Pickens, Easley, Gaffney, I don't care. I'm coming to you. Just like Jason heard, you heard them cities I called out there, right? Like Buffalo and Union and all that out there.
That's right.
That.
I'm
and
familiar.
Pickens and absolutely. So yes, we will drive them to you. We know what color the state is, and voting is imperative. Last time this happened, a lot of us didn't get out and vote, and the answer was I had to work. I didn't know about absentee ballots, and I couldn't get there. Okay, that's not plan. You've got some advanced plan. Go with your friend Bob. Call somebody. My question to you is, I know that we talk about where we live and how horrible it is, and I know the nation talks about how horrible it is, but I see that there has been change made, and I live in the South, and I choose to live in the South. I also choose to live in the South Carolina. I also choose to live in the upstate of South Carolina by choice. Have been given several opportunities to leave the upstate, and I return every time. It's a great place to be. There's change to be made. But my question for you is, what do you hope for the upstate and the LGBT and like South Carolina as a whole? Because now we are running out of Charleston too. So, you know, what do you think about it as a whole?
I'm actually very hopeful, and I'm very excited for the simple fact that the Rainbow Support Group it exists at all is proof positive that change is happening now. You know, progress. You know, what is the MLK quote? The moral, the arc of the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends toward justice. And I think that that's the ticket. People, I would encourage people, you know, not to be discouraged because progress is cyclical. It's never a straight line, one way forward. There's a few steps forward, a few steps back, and that's just where we are right now. So we have this opportunity now, and I feel like people societally are more awake than they were because they have to be. And
I was gonna say, if you're not now, roll over because it's over.
Yeah, so I think
you better be awake. You better be awake. There's a lot being said. And you know, and I know I'm 27. Okay, I know that I am. However, my life has encompassed a lot. In my life, I have existed. Now, remember, I was born in 64, so some of the shit that was going on, I was too little for. But of course, I picked up on the vibes of my parents and the vibes of the world in which I was in, and you know, Vietnam and all that. It was pretty much a lot. I see change slowly. I hate it that it is so slow, but I do see change. And right now, I see that we are at the precipice of a change. I don't want people to go back to sleep. I know it's uncomfortable for some. Okay. I know that it's like, oh my God, Kim. I'm like, yeah, I know, but man, hang on for the ride, man. I'm going on this ride. I've been waiting for this ride. I was raised by Archie Bunker. Okay. I know who that is. And I hated that man, and I hated my father, and I hated what he believed. Um, I grew up to be the exact opposite of what came out of his mouth, and haven't spoken to him for, I can't even tell you how long. I mean, because I don't live in that world, and I won't live in that world. I'll fight against it, and I'll continue to fight against it. When our people of color, it's not, oh, the people of color are getting hurt. Okay. No, the point here is the people of color have been getting hurt.
Right.
Okay. The point is, no, don't be saying, well, it just happened. No, it's called systemic racism. You need to look into it, and we all need to be embarrassed. And ignorance or not, if you didn't know it was going on, then shame on you too. Shame on me. Shame on me for not knowing more. Shame on me for some of the things I've said in the past or whatever. Okay, because I was taught that way. Okay, okay, so what? You know better, do better.
That's correct.
You know better, do better. So I shame on America. Shame on America. I'm sorry you're getting your feelings butt hurt. I'm sorry you don't like what's being said. Not
It
my
doesn't matter
bad.
how you were raised. You're responsible for being more culturally aware as an adult than you were raised. That's not an excuse.
Right. And if you look around, I mean, come on, y'all. If you stand in the grocery store, if you stand in an elevator, if you stand in an intersection, there's not just one kind of person. Now, I know what Hitler wanted. Okay, I got you. And by the way, he wanted blondes and all that. He didn't have blonde hair. He also wanted blue-eyed people. His eyes were brown. Just throwing that out there. Okay. He was crazy. Okay. And look what happened. Okay. And we can't let that happen again. And I think there's too many good people. I know that what is happening is horrible, but I think what is happening is beautiful. When I turned on the TV and I saw countries across the ocean that were standing up and demanding change here in America, okay, they're demanding that we behave. I was like, rock the fuck on. Now you can't ignore us. Now you can't ignore us, because it isn't just here. So you can bring out your militia. You can do whatever the hell you want to. But you know what? France is pissed off. Okay, the UK, they pissed off. Hell, they marched for us in Africa. Are you kidding me? Shut up. You can't make us go away. We're not going to go away. There's no reason why it should go away. And if you have very strong fundamental views, like the Hasidic Jews or whatever, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. They usually stay in their own culture, though, like that, to where they can live that life. Like Bob Jones in the Upstate. You have to wear certain clothes. You have to listen to certain music. You have to go to class certain times. You're only allowed to whatever. So what do? They kind of all live together. So they behave that way around each other. Okay, if that's the way you want to do, then go do that. Okay, go do that. But we've got 15 minutes left. Make sure you guys remember www.rainbowsupportgroupsc.com or www.rainbowsupportgroupsc.org. Either way, you can get to us for contact, email list, board members, you name it. Oh, and we have an announcement coming up. We have a new board member too, but I can't say anything. Yet. So that's on the down low, but we're all excited about it though. Oh, the Pride got canceled. Did we talk to you since last week? I think we did. I think we talked about it last week being canceled. And like I said, we're going to keep it on the positive. We're so ready. The rainbow has never been this ready for a Pride in all of these years. We're usually flying by the seat of our pants, don't have what we need, have to borrow from somebody else. It's crazy. This year, I got you. I got you. We don't need nothing. We got everything done. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Yeah, beads and bracelets and all. So just keep your eyes on the future. Keep focused on courage and strength and hope in the future. Don't let yourself get stuck. We are going to come out of this. Now, it is probably going to look a little different. We're all learning things a little different. People are reacting to things a little different. I only put on makeup one time a week, and that's for this live. Okay, that's the real world in the pandemic. And real clothes, like clothes, not pajamas. Amazing. And this time I actually have pants on. Last time I had my pajama pants on because it's a pandemic. The rules don't apply. That's what I keep telling all the people that keep calling my phone. They keep being sad that they are not handling things like they think they should. Jason and I were talking about it before we came on, and it was funny because he's been in the house a long time, and so have I. And we're working from home, and so we're stuck, and we're literally stuck. He's in Colorado, I'm in Florida, we're stuck. On how hard it is and that it's really starting to take its toll. Like we're stressed out, we're things that, we're snappy, we're whatever. And it's just taken a toll on everybody. If you think that you should be handling this better than everybody else you're looking at, you're out of your mind. Okay. What makes you any different than all of us that are tripping? We're having trouble sleeping. We're not eating right. I bet you some people are having diarrhea and stuff now that we found out we're stuck some more. Give yourself a break. You have to give yourself a break. We do have links on the bottom of the Trevor hotline. If you're in trouble, remember, it's totally okay to not be okay, because you have to admit you're not okay in order to get help. So you have to know that we love you for not being okay. If you're not okay, the pandemic, you've probably had economic loss. You're probably having stress out the butt. It's probably horrible. Grab a hold of somebody and give us a call. Give the Trevor Lifeline a call. Understand that we're human, and pressure. We have a right to talk to a therapist. We have a right to talk to somebody. We have a right to vent when we don't feel good. And don't think, well, I'm going to call and they're not going to care. No, I do care. And we do care. And we do understand because we're tripping. Just to let you know, look, I have no nails, so I'm really tripping. I want it to be over. I got boy hands. It's terrible. Jason, you don't know that about me. That is like the worst thing in the whatever. You're a boy. It applies. My nails. My nails are like.
Boys can have nails. I painted. As a matter of fact, we painted our nails.
I understand, but I have claws.
You're used to claws. All right.
I know my nails are long though. And now, oh no, the first thing you'll know on all these lives we do, you will know the minute Florida is good. Because I'm going to have my nails again. Now I'm like, nope, can't see my hands. Nope, they ugly. I don't like them. Everybody's so funny. Everybody has something they're hung up on.
Absolutely.
It's either the way they do their makeup or their shoes or their whatever. And like Dole Wheatley, him and his hair, he has to drive all the way from Atlanta to go all the way back to the upstate to have Chief cut his hair because she puts those things in his head. And I'm like, really? You're going to drive that far to get your hair cut? Okay, you're such a dude, whatever. No, now everybody knows I haven't cut my hair in years because I'm paranoid and you're not allowed to cut my hair. But boy, we talking nails now. Nails I'll fight you for. I will knock you down to get nails done. Okay, did anybody have anything to talk about? Probably not. We'll see later. They'll let us know later. They'll say, but I stayed to talk. Oh, wow, my phone is doing something really weird. I don't know what it's doing. I'm learning all of this stuff, I want you to know, Jason, and it's so hard. It's so hard. I can't wait to get home and get to David, because David has so smart about so many things, but you can't learn them on this. You have to be there to see what he's doing, or at least I do. At least I do, because I'm 27.
Right, you're
All this-
kinesthetic learning. You have to physically do it.
I do, and write it down, and then tell
too.
Mocha, and then Mocha will remind me later. No, I'm terrible, and I am the sticky note queen. It is me. It is me. Post-it was made for Kim, and I actually take notes, make notes, get sticky notes, and then put the sticky notes on my notes. I got sticky notes there, but I'm afraid I'll forget. And everything is so important now, and I don't want to forget anything, so I just sticky note it. I think we're allowed to screw up. I think we're allowed to not be perfect, and I think in that you just need a plan B. Like Mocha was my plan B for the longest time, because I knew that she would finish my sentence. You know, I'd say, Mocha, what did I just say? And she'd say, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, cool. Now I got it. Okay. So it was good for me. Or when we have to go to big, important places where I get nervous, like if they hand you a microphone, okay, I will nut up. There is no way. Okay, this is different. I'm in my bedroom, okay, talking to you on here, and I'm pretending there's nobody else out there. But if you hand me a microphone in front of 100 people, I'm gonna die. Mocha was great. Mocha loved that shit. Here, Mocha. She'd be like, hello. I'm like, oh, you on. You on. You're hired. No, I can't do that. I can't. I never could. Never could. But you speak well too, though.
Thank you.
You speak well too.
I sang in church for a long time, so that helped me get over my stage fright. I don't have stage fright.
I just freak out. I just am not that person. Now, I've taken care of entertainers forever, and I love it. They are fabulous because they get off on that stuff. They just love it. And I love it for them. Like, I'll get all excited, and I know, but I can't do it. I can't do it. It really, and sometimes they screw up, like on like a big pride stage, you could be being looked at by several 1,000 people. You could be getting looked at by, and their heels are like this big.
Sure.
Okay, well, what if I fall? Oh my God. And then I got to get up. How graceful is that going to be? Okay. No, see, just from the fear of it, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I love drag only because they're cooler than normal people. They're just, they're just cooler. They are. Okay, what are we doing? Next week is our Charleston Live. I'm excited about that. We're going to talk to Callie. Everybody's going to love Callie. She's so disappointed. She's been planning the party down there with the Grand Duchess Raven, and seeing what we can do about our kickoff party. And she so wants to have the party, and it keeps getting canceled. So she's like, I'm like, we're going to have a party. We're going to have a party. And when we do, it's going to really rock out down there. When we do get to come out, like their pride will be over. But whenever we come out, we can always plan a party for Charleston. And then we can go to Charleston and party. Now, I wish we could all get on a plane and go to Colorado. But we can't. But we can't. We spend our money on the homeless. We spend our money on the kids. We don't spend our money on airline tickets. There would be no way. I would die. I would feel so guilty. Do you know how many presents I could buy?
Correct. It's about priorities.
Oh, we have way priorities. I could buy so many, though. That's it. Now, if anybody wants to donate money for Operation Santa Sleigh equivalent to plane tickets, we're down. We're down. We will take that money and we will give it to the children who definitely need it. Yeah, because we're fixing on doing some interviews with some moms and dads and find out, okay, so say this pandemic continues forward into September. Okay, now you're into school year. So the kids are at home again. Okay, well, if the kids needed supplies when they went to school, the kids need supplies anyway. How do we get to these kids? How do we get them what they need? Maybe we need to contact a school and ask them what we should do to supply, because I don't think the need has gone away because they've gone home. I think kids still need paper, kids still need things. And the parents need things. The school did provide certain things during the day that now the parents are all supplying everything for. So I'm sure that they would need some help. But anyway, look at me planning to save the world. If you see me going, how can we save the world in a pandemic? Please know the rainbow is going forward. We are continuing. We've just changed our world into the new virtual world. We're trying to think of how to reach people without touching them. We're also understanding that the crises in the LGBT are increasing. So we're trying to make ourselves as available as we can for you. We are taking counseling classes. We are expediting our learning. We are trying to be able to handle anything that we come in contact with because the LGBT is having a tough time. So if you think you're having a tough time, please don't think you're crazy, because guess what? You're having a tough time like the rest of us. So it is time to say goodbye. Jason, did you want to say anything else before we go?
Just thanks for welcoming me back home, and I'm happy to be a part and do all that we can. And as Kim likes to say, together we can change the world.
And together we can change the world. And I love you. And I'm so glad the universe gave you to us. I am. And I think that you are a perspective of courage, strength, and hope to those people in those backwoods counties and cities in the upstate and in South Carolina and Georgia and North Carolina as a whole. Down there in the Southeast, we definitely have a different way of seeing things. And also, you can also educate the people out at your end of the plight of the people in the South and introduce them to the fact that we don't live the same life, and make sure that they're representing for the South and that they can do what they can do. Everybody, if you need us, please reach out and give us a call. Like I said, next week, we're doing the Charleston Live, so we'll be talking to Callie, and she has some great, exciting news for us as well. Anything else? No? Nope. Mackenzie, do you have anything to say? No? We all good?
No, I'm good.
You good?
Thanks, everybody, for participating, and hope to see everybody again next week.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys next week for the Rainbow Friday Support Live, and we'll be talking to Callie. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Peace, love.
Peace, love. Yank it.
Bye.
Bye. You got it?